Hello everyone and welcome to your New Year Ascension card reading. So this card reading is going to be slightly different. I've got my deck of cards and we're ready to do the reading, but the difference with this reading is that it's really going to tell you what it is that you need to focus on over the next year, what's going to be coming up for you in your ascension process and in your spiritual awakening that you really need to focus on, and it'll give you some guidance and some help along the way too. So it's really a powerful reading to begin your year with. So let's get right into it. Now, first of all, I always like to do a card for everyone in spiritual awakening. That gives us a kind of broad overview of really the ascension and how it's moving through this year that's coming up. So that can be really helpful. So let's take a card for all of us first and see what's happening in the energies and how things are changing in spiritual awakening. So let's see. And then after that, you'll get to choose card 1, 2 or 3, and that's your personal message for the year. Let's see. Oh, there's a lot of energy to this card. Let's see what we've got. Okay, Amber we've got, and I know this may be backwards for you guys, but it'll still give you an idea of what's going on. So what this card's really saying is to release everything that's going on for you, all the pressure, all the stress, anything that you're really holding on to a little bit too much. It's about time to give it over to the universe. Time to trust that the universe will take care of you. That doesn't mean that you stop moving forward, and it doesn't mean that you stop taking action steps, but what it does mean is that all the worries and the concerns that you've got, try when you can to hand it over to whatever energy it is you feel most aligned with, whether it's universal energies, maybe it's the angels, maybe it's your guides, maybe it's the ascended masters. Everyone's got something different that really resonates with them, but it's really about trying to be as worry-free as possible as you can. When you're living in a challenging environment, because Earth is definitely a challenging environment, give that energy over and feel free. And I also feel it's about gaining a little bit of perspective. There's a lot of gold in this card, and I feel that's about the ascended mastermind. That's about this higher aspect of yourself, your higher self, so to speak, and it's about gaining perspective on everything that's going on, which can be very difficult. But if you can gain a little bit of perspective, put things in their appropriate place, and kind of find a way to step back a little bit when you're looking at life, that's the way that we're going to get through this next year of ascension energy. And what I can say is that we are in for a very high vibrational energy, a very big shift this year. The amount of gold in this card tells me that we're really moving into higher planes energetically. So good things coming up for all of us on the ascension pathway. So now we take a card, now you choose card 1, 2 or 3, so just go with what you feel resonates most with you. Go with the first thought that pops into your head, because the soul speaks first and it's the mind that speaks second. So always trust what pops into your head first, 1, 2 or 3. So I'll just give them a little clear. If you chose card 1, let's see what's coming up for you in your ascension over this next year. Let's see what you need to focus on. It's always good to get an idea of what energies are coming up for you in the year ahead. It kind of helps you prepare yourself and set yourself in the right energy, the right mindset, the right headspace. Let's see what card is for you. Okay, let's see. Oh, fantastic. Card number 1, if this is your card, we are in the energy of Moonstone. Now, Moonstone is all about your psychic senses, it's all about your intuition, and this card actually is called Heightened Intuition. So you're going to be finding that over this next year, your intuition is going to be improving tenfold. It's really going to take a step up. And I actually feel that having some Moonstone would be helpful for you. It's not necessary, but it can just be like a little reminder of what it is you're focusing on this year and all the psychic senses that you want to really open and clear. That can make a big difference. Yes, very big things happening for intuition and psychic senses for you. And I feel like it's also about learning to trust that intuition. That's probably going to be the challenge that comes up over this year. The intuition is going to be there. It's going to improve so much more than it already is, whether you're already in tune with that or not. And what you're probably going to find is the challenge for you is going to be in trusting it, in acknowledging what shows up and trusting it. And I feel like to begin with, there may be quite a few occasions where you say, oh, I knew that was going to happen. Oh, I knew that. And it'll always be after the fact. So what you're really going to be doing, particularly in the first month or two of this year, is learning to notice those signs when they come up, because sometimes it's not until something happens that confirms it that we realise we've had that thought. It's almost like it's not fully aware to us, but we know we've had the thought. So train yourself to become more aware of those insights, that guidance, that spiritual intuition as it comes up, and you'll find that you are absolutely guided by your intuition this year. So just learn to trust it, learn to get used to it. Just like if you get a manual for some new thing that you got and you're learning how to use it for the first time, it's the same with intuition. You need to learn how to use it, learn how to trust it. So fantastic things coming up for you this year. And looking again, just a little piece of moonstone, it'll help you focus your psychic energies, and it can help to open up your psychic centres as well. Fantastic stuff. I usually wear jewellery with moonstone in it for that very purpose. It's really helpful. So let's see, card number 2. If you chose card number 2, let's see what's coming up for you this year. What do you need to focus on in your ascension? What do you need to know on? What's going to be your challenges? Let's just see. Oh, it's jumped out at us. Okay, so this year you need to not be too hard on yourself. This is the energy that's coming up. It's all about progress, and it's about feeling frustrated with your progress, and it's about being a little bit kinder to yourself, and maybe also shifting your expectations as well, because with spiritual awakening, I think that we are, there's a lot of information out there that makes us believe that everything's going to change for us in an instant. We don't need to put in any effort or work, that it just happens. And that's not the case. We're constantly trying to improve ourselves. We're constantly trying to become more acquainted with our intuition. We're constantly trying to be, to live being guided by that intuition while still being aware of what's going on in the world around us. It's a challenging process. So what this tells me is that you've probably been just a little bit too hard on yourself. Maybe you're feeling like you've not moved forward enough in your ascension or in your life. And this is about recognising that we're all moving forward together. This is a collective. This is the light workers' way. We're all moving forward, but you may have times where sometimes it feels like you're not moving forward as quickly as you would like. This card tells me that you're right on track, that the progress that you're making is working perfectly. But I bring up the word perfect actually to let you know that you need to get rid of that mindset. You're not looking at your ascension from a perspective of, am I really, doing this thing right? Am I perfect at the way that I'm achieving awakening? And that's not the point. The point is that you're continually growing, that you're continually becoming more aligned with who you truly are. So nothing can really define what it is that you're meant to achieve. It's about being true to yourself, and it's about being the best person that you can be, and feeling confident and comfortable with who you are. So this tells me that you're right on track, and that you're just being a bit too tough on yourself. So try to be gentle with yourself, try to bring in that compassion. Let's see. It's also about balancing your masculine and feminine energies. Now you'll notice actually these two angels in the card. I don't know how well you can see. Looks like there's a male and a female there, so that's all about balancing the two halves of yourself, and it's probably that this energy is in conflict. So that's all about being kind and gentle and maybe nurturing towards yourself, taking good care of yourself. And then there's this other energy that needs to be strong, it needs to be assertive, it needs to be protective. So you're finding a way to balance all those energies within yourself and all those different characteristics. And when you do, you're going to find that this progress that you've been aiming to make is just going to come into balance, and you're going to really align with who you truly are. This is a big year for you, and you need to be understanding with yourself, and you need to treat yourself with the same compassion that you would treat other people, because I feel that might be a little bit out of alignment. That's your focus for this year. Great card. Okay, let's see. So the last one, card number 3. Let me know, guys, in the comments what card you've chosen, and let me know if any of these messages are resonating with you. You might already be in that energy. You might already be seeing these things coming up in your life. So let's see, card number 3. If you chose card number 3, let's see what you need to focus on in your ascension. What's coming up for you this year? What some of those challenges might be. That's always helpful to know ahead of time, so that we can move through it. Oh, it's jumped. There we go. Okay, so card number 3 is all about spiritual protection. So this card really tells me that you maybe are moving into that spiritual energy. You want to move into it, but there is some fear there. There is fear about really stepping into that spiritual aspect of yourself. There may be some fear around your intuition or your psychic senses, and really trusting what comes through with that. And there's also a fear of, once you are connected in, once you're aligned with that intuition, what are you opening your energy up to? So, what are you going to be in contact with? What are you going to become aware of? And there's some fear of the psychic plane, the spiritual plane, because of course there are many different energies, different resonant energies in all these different planes, and it's very important this year that you learn how to protect your energies. Learning to protect your energies is really important, because as we improve our intuition, we start to connect more, we start to get more insight, we start to get more guidance. We need to be able to differentiate between what is trustworthy guidance and what is maybe other influences, what is the energy around us, what is our mind getting in the way, and it's about discernment. So this year for you, I feel that you're really going to be moving forward with your psychic senses. You're going to become, it's going to be easier for you to connect with your guides, with other levels, with other planes, but the key is going to be learning to discern and learning to protect yourself energetically as you do so, and it's not a challenging thing to do. In fact, if you need some help with that, we actually have loads of meditations that can help you in our Teachable School. I'll put a link to it below, but we have one specifically for psychic protection that you can use when you are going into a meditation. You would play it before, and it just sets all your energy, it puts the protection in place, it brings the boundaries up so that you can trust that whatever's coming through is accurate and clear and coming from a good source, which is really, really important. It's coming from a high vibrational source. So that might be of help to you. I'll put the link below, but whatever route you choose to bring protection to that psychic ability that you have, your psychic ability is going to improve hugely this year. So it's really important that you take care of yourself, that you protect yourself energetically, and that's a large part of Ascension, is learning to take care of the energy body that you've got and all the wonderful spiritual gifts and abilities that it has. It can be a bit of a challenge, but I trust that you can do it, and this card tells me that there are big things shifting for you in this coming year, lots of good things. So very, very positive. So that's our card reading for New Year. I hope that it helps you gain some perspective and really move forward in your ascension this year. Remember, you can click below to be notified whenever we go live, and if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel and give us a little thumbs up. It really means a lot to us. We've got lots more videos to come, and of course, if you're interested in working with the angels, it's angel cards that I always use, because the messages are constructive and they're not fear-based. It's always about truth. Then you can check out our free masterclass below, which is 11 signs that your angels are trying to contact you. It'll help to open your mind completely to all the different ways that the angels connect with us, and I think you'll really like it. So take a look at that and see if it's in alignment with you, and have a great day.